Canada Japan. Wabobrasi Mahama. Take it from me, and I know. I brother this one, Canada Japan, no, you Canada Japan, you be. Yeah, Canada Bomut said, ya okay, you say, Unishi, yeah, Obwa Canada Japan, but so behas you say, obey this to that level. It's too for baby. Because near my walk, and then near my why, yeah. How many dear Drew High? Only ministerial appointment though. But Debia, he's a fighter. He know where and how to go and make his name as a candidate.
The new meeting, Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia, Miracles Abronye, head of communication, and NPP Mpanimfoɔ bi mu a almost support Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia akɔne sɛ ye Kennedy Akompre kwa Japan and a ma NPP eluzi 2024 election na nye Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia. That is why Miracles Abronye started from Wontumi media. Na omugu kina Japan anima ase say NPP defeat defeat in 2024 no kina Japan. Abronye this is who say was started anya no nko a so we kina Japan fan and supporter. That is going to be the communication now and then to say yebeko primaries ni bewie. Na bullet ne de omo prepare bebre say dem di nkan ka kire mo no. Muhu say eba monkai say Mr. Frank Adane and Mr. Brefajan Christian. Say if your own research has proven to you, say 2.1 million NPP supporters didn't vote. Eba saying na kena Japan asama okaye and ma NPP supporters no anko tuaba. If indeed it is true, then Kennedy Akompre Japan is superior and he has to lead the party to reorganize NPP. If that is what we are saying, you are number one information manager. You are number one political prophet. Mame Montia say Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia epaw adwumayekuo bi say onye research as to say NPP delegate besanso amano second chance to represent the party in the 2028 general election. Research ne ba wiye no ebeda di say NPP delegate ebuafu na nyade say omobema Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia second chance because of the humiliating defeat also in the 2024 general election. Omo check the strength of Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia no. Na omo check the strength of Honorable Kennedy Akompre Japan. In the same research, ebeda di say the strength of Kennedy Japan is very massive. Ye nyina yenim say Honorable Kennedy Japan is grassroots papa and delegate papa, the godfather of the grassroots and delegate. And the charisma of Kennedy Japan besanso overweigh Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia. So on the side of Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia, ono de oje tu musenka uncontested view. But omo atwa no ho ahia ka se dabi doctor eye politics e na yeye. Hwe former president Kufuor oba mpre dodo sen. Hwe Professor Mills oba mpre dodo sen. Hwe wo ankasa wo boss President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo oba mpre dodo sen. Even President Mahama Mpa na ye fi say ne political career abawiye ene oye president enti mempa ba. So you see the campaign na Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia ene na chidifo eye we say we ba dodo say na wontimi ma preko pe emewini samukai. And that isn't all. Almost starting with all forms of propaganda and strategy. And now omo ye ni nyina no they were doing certain things to weaken Kennedy Japan. Enti almost started agenda say yenka say Kennedy Japan sembia okaye ena egu MPP Kennedy Japan na all say MPP said ye beya NPP grassroots NPP delegate bubefu Kennedy Japan upon all the propaganda tactics and antics against Kennedy Japan and Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia nyina no. It came to conclusion say yet Kennedy Japan has upper hand and Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia day in and out or go down. Na de suppress omukra na ye yoko ene how corrupt ideals are or ye na ye ba betwe na abo so I no so be another humiliating factor. The new meeting Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia Miracles Abronye, head of communication and NPP Mpanimfoɔ bi mu a omo support Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia akɔne sɛ our communication now no supposed to be say Canada compare kwa Japan and a man NPP lose 2024 election na nye Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia. So eno de omoka saa esan se lose no aha MPP for aha delegate ninti no omobu befu Canada compare kwa Japan. So that is why Miracle Sabuaje I started from Wontumi media. Na omugu Canada Japan anima ase say NPP defeat defeat in 2024 no Canada Japan. Abronye this so who say was started and yeah no kwa so we Canada Japan fan and supporter. That is going to be the communication now and then to say yabeko primaries in bewie. Na bullet ne de omo prepare bebre so dem di nkan ka kire mo no. Mu say eba mon kai say Mr. Frank Adane and Mr. Brefajan Christian ye wo ho. Enti woda na wa den na wada. Na ene me ba bebo audios Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia NPP General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodua ene honorable Kojo Opankroma ekaye dientia NPP lose in 2024 na ene omonsem ne propaganda omonsanso de 2-3 mu ama waba betan honorable Canada Japan but media minim say all this propaganda no just to hail just to uplift Canada Japan just to enlighten the charisma of Canada Japan said the prophet be ebekaye no and we are yet to see many things so wutie nsema Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia kaye JFK kaye and honorable Kojo Opankroma kaye even Kojo Opankroma de no kura no ye to aba no wie ye no em say 2 days 3 days brad Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia be declare ye no that is 2-3 days and Kojo Opankroma kaye but you can see say nsem na omo ka no ni nyina ye pepe hardship eka ho even what Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia was it 3 days to election yet to petromu wo wonya we aden MPP for yem penokure Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia den na mom penokure na mo be yegu Canada Japan so wan kasa wo se Ghana for se yem pe e-levy na do se da bida Ghana for se yem pe betting tax na do se da bida haircut mo se mo nya haircut e ba ya na ma ye haircut aden na yem penokure and so tie Kojo Opankroma ya oka ne brofo na ye joy news ntu de mo de na muntie o say omo to aba no na they were tracking so the issue list NPP for na so omo nkonkoto aba all because delegate yama obi 10,000 ya to fridge yama obi ya to we na ono no ene wo so nkonkoto aba wa man sika onko and ya mo ye na hi na 2 kwanya mo fa so yi presidential candidate ahunahunu ano ayo mo time and a presidential candidate Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia muyi no so no omompe no and omompe John Dramani Mahama eti omonkonkoto aba that was the reason Dr. Alhaji Mahmood Bawumia wan kasa wo research e ba bonten say 2.1 million NPP supporters did not vote. So you see the research now na me ka kire wo no this is where it is coming from. So Miracle Sabuaje say if your own research has proven to you say 2.1 million NPP supporters didn't vote. Eba ne saying na Canada Japan asama okaye ena ma MPP supporters no ankoto aba. If indeed it is true, then Canada Japan is superior and he has to lead the party to reorganize MPP. If that is what we are saying. Now mama monso so matie a banter between Adumaku Bafi and Miracle Sabuaje. 39 million Ghana cedis for communicators in NPP and Miracle Sabuaje nenkwa di sika no mubetie na wo ye NPP ni na wutie mi atie na tie ni ye share this link don't let anybody pollute your mind they are there for their personal interest Canada Japan is God for you and now what Miracle Sabuaje wo say Canada Japan has benefited and gotten money in NPP than anybody yes indeed me metra ha nye bonu ayefo Canada Japan so enye bonu ayefo eye no kure MPP aboa Canada Japan so aboa MPP hwe 50% ya Canada Japan di ni sika ehye MPP mu Miracle Sabuaje na wo he bia wajapade wo eho na wakoma wo se Canada Japan I invest in NPP na se NPP aboa no omampani dada kofo aboa no amana ba benya sika mo a what is wrong with that 1992 oyi $300,000 Miracles Abronye na wo he osi adubu ahebo na bati so wa man post osi you are a businessman, you be a businessman. Then time nan kana Agyapong po fee say omo ye ne bone enti mi bisa wo say omampani dada kofo aso appreciation to him. What is wrong with that? Young responses any sika hodo to hu achenim de ne nyansa kana Agyapong de ama MPP. In comparison, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia yan hweba bia Dr. Free Baye we are Ghana ni na wutie mi a just make this comparison. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ene Samira Bawumia hweba bia omu Free Baye ka prebe na omo no beka MPP ho ene hwese de omu asie ye tam ye ka obi apathy aboa na Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia na yire Samira ene kana Agyapong hwan na party aboa omo ene Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia timi gigidam na whiskey na pork meat kramoni a wo we prako nam kramoni a wo no whiskey na esi wanim. You are making this comparison. Okay? Before I move on, I be kwa kwatie nsem no yentie ensem a chama Wontumi ekafa kana Agyapong ho when it comes to nisika onyaye kana Agyapong nya nisika dadaw even under NDC na tie nsem a chama Wontumi kan ye na enei wasanso de ne radio station asi ho se yemfa ngu kana Agyapong anim ase die nyame ahira no Wontumi nse no that I am telling you. But all you know, we are kana Agyapong fan and supporter me so that no cause for an alarm. We are there, we hold their bottom, we press them. Na de ayame ya say enne mo a mo support kana Agyapong ma hu de ekọ ye mu bi ye nya won na ye press ya ye squeeze ya mo si o Frank ye party baako ena mu nyai kana Agyapong wi ni kura na obehia Bawumia supporters. Hey, you are not a politician. And I used to say, you don't know what I know, and you've not seen what I am seeing. When I catch that, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and Crawford, best support in Agyapong. Why they catch that? It's never true, and they are ready to bring Agyapong down. May catch that. We are Agyapong fan and supporter. Start now. It is boot for boot, and we must face them. They cannot make Agyapong president too. And let me tell you, the 2028 election is about Ghana. Both MPP and NDC are going to vote for Agyapong. Floating voters are going to vote for Agyapong. So the insignificant figure of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia shouldn't disturb you. Yes, me can't let Agyapong fan and supporters in there. Sanka you crashing these people now. Nka no benya no aye de omoye no. Ene mahunu. Mahu. Mo amoye MPP fuo bi mo a. Mo sori amo attack me Mr. Brefaja. Ene mahunu. Chen anya bia. You see what they are doing. You see. Enya bre na mo de ma ye bre. When can you finish your mo now? Can you finish your mo? But all the same, Yoko is underway. Nti mo yet, Yoko will squeeze them. When Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia or you who forces no bia. So just keep quiet and let's see what will happen. Abusunya, share the link with the yentie.
Kana Agyapong. Wabo brasi mahama. Take it from me and I know. Abronye this one kana Agyapong no ye na dwuma. Me mom ni ama me kwa manye madwuma. No, no, so on first, you okay? Okay. What I say? I think Agyapong you be a. Yeah, kana brabo mu ti said ya okay ya yise oni hwe ya ya obua kana Agyapong hwe. Yeah. Be yesgani enti minim obi o Oscar minim. Minim. Na minim ni amaso kana Agyapong so. Take it from me. But so Bahasia say, obey this to that level. It's too for baby. Because near ma wa hunu. And then near ma wa ye. How many dear drew high? Only ministerial appointment though. But Debia he's a fighter. He know where and how to go and make his name as a candidate.
All the studies are. So far, the big issues are one, cost of living. Niema bo e kosoro, a hocheri e buy. The kamo ye idea ye friend arrogance of power. Express yaso na eyenti yaso edi yentie asem party for country say yenye reshuffle and yes 8 years yantie and yes party for country say yempe E11 no ebe hagi ye toso miansa party for country say haircuts no debt restructuring no DDEP somewhat in answer say sad debt restructuring no ebe hagi because most of them are pensioners and Omapeni announced said there will be no haircut some okay Ghana for you in ING, but a buyer no, ye be ye haircut. We so share a buy ye tia napco view, na ye tia afforestation for view, catering so ye tio. And also share regions be brave, said the General Secretary Kanye. Ye votes no, do to on the wall. Yanye juma bebre wo ho Western region said o kan ye no ukọ Jomora ukọ Evaluate ukọ Mpoho a so many places ya kwan no a problem market said intimi tabra Shaban yes
challenge say nyaye youth in afforestation rent bill over 70,000 was NAPCO over 100,000. Zoom line why is sanitation model, school feeding, Okay, come run 10 about mo yes adwuma we nyina wo ma. We are talking about over 250,000 people. They be our market here. Munchu omaka o yenchu omaka o yebetua. And imagine says I need 250,000 na be 9 months, 8 months untua neka. Ke o zo mo kwa aka so mo to abetia wa. You've lost about 200,000 votes.
Yeah.
Not to talk about omu dependence. Tebia omoma enu omunya omwo. Sa no ma we nyina no. Aka ho. Then the third one. Your polling station structure. Ke odi me be general secretary. Nya to polling station awie. Nya to electoral area awie. Ya to constituency awie. Ya to region awie. In the beto national. It may buy a foundation no you say no the wabeto no ejuso by elections ejuso for muti win masma make na can see the ko say NPP coalitions NDC for police aso munjina but independent candidate irredu me then waba be say or contest here kodi ordinarily should it be a contest?
No.
A party like MPP.
No.
You're quite less so, you're stronghold. Baby, a winning easily, safe seat. Not nipa bako, as I say, or near contest, near trifiable. I didn't say. It is because of say your polling station elections acquire a one album one sense. You do just baby na me patcho. Oh, Monfanche, oh, general, what they knew near now you want to see it. Now, so say chile bibi. As o chile bibi said, no my see no, and try why ya to send me ho. My parents will measure me as she said no my say be ya, no may see ya, more cassette, baby at 12 about 2 a.m. Obasada pesa at 12 baby. Obu ha want till you chrome on tear juice what in kind. On 12 about crowd, Nidinshire Abronye. It is a year one comfort the card, say MPP for Omo ye ho, Omu for say you mo free Abronye. Any conform some people contest ya man contest me no omne kodi independent candidate church and say a trifire boy you do win you hon and it cuts across party bia your elections are we ya be a friend voter audit on nam ehwehwe conform metro abama to what we normally do is say your printed voter register no near the amount say oh mo je mo identify and conform MPP form metro abama ye. The exercise was not successful my country every say polling station now dey any kwa command no obu okra polling station on to and to kill the obi a one polling station ho no Now the Abba man say register man and say unko hwe omo omoto no. Efe be no wokum. Onimobia. Then two. O say ye no free wa. Ade ba ko e koso ye a as a party ne ya gyatum se asesa no. Eye say nipa kakra bi koto aba. Motimofidi ha. Na eze me fere kwa say obi koto aba na obegina radio so. And I may koto ye mama 5,000, ye mama 2,000 so kwaji fridge. And ye koto aba ye MP. Na se bi kroma na omoto na omoni unya neti. Na se bi akwaji 2,000 akwaji 3,000 unya bi no. Ke odu fi sa bet oduru na kaso nkoto ba koto.
Example what just in your life issue because me kokrumotini ni. This is what you are making sana makwakoto because momu trace kama delegates na sana mokoto abako yi nipa no so omeji na ne yen ya yekoto aba no motwa yeja
enti sa no ma we nyina no e ya de a akuti apart no e de apart na e de e ba because ke odi it won't make sense yekoto aba na 2020 votes are unyaye about 6.7 million. Now 2024, so what about 4.5? We shall pay 2 million anko twaba. Kodi, they say Brad unity say it's like your supporters are more Ghana now, more fresh from home. Eka say yanko twaba. Okay, normally say about 20, what man ya bia those can be a squad for so monko to be more peculiar issue bia e wo ho. But e bia man pomba koto or e bia Techiman South or Tanon of Bakoto Maba. But across the whole country,
someone could talk about
say, young koto about say, and I say, you say, but young koto.
We were tracking the polling station attendance from 7 a.m. every 30 minutes with our tracking system. And by midday, we had about 40% turnout. And it gave us reason to worry because looking at our target per polling station, it gave us reason to worry that, our numbers were not turning up to vote as much as we desired. And so we had to step up our sweeping system to ensure that we could encourage many of those who had gone to the farms or had gone elsewhere to come in and to cast their vote. I think at the end of it, we were hovering around 60% turnout. And as you then compare it to the averages in the region and across the country, we are pleased at the results that we had, albeit disappointed in the national performance of the New Patriotic Party and our candidates.
And indeed, for you in Ofuasayerbi, and as I've just been indicating, if you go to 2020, the last time you were in an election there, you came in with 22,551 of the votes there. And this same gentleman who is now very close to you was at 12,000. He's increased his slightly by close to 1,000 votes. And you've dropped, I believe, just around 4,000 votes.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And you would find on the ground that there are about 4,000 party members who refused to vote, or there are about 4,000 sympathizers of our party who refused to vote. And they explained to us some of the reasons for which they were angry and refusing to vote. That kind of aligns with the story across the country. And what we have to do is to embrace the kind of feedback that they are giving us and go back to the ground and work with it.
I mean, and I just pulled up our trends map here just to give people an understanding of why this, you say, is concerning for you when you started tracking and you realize that people are not showing up to vote. And I must say, you are the best performing parliamentary candidate as far as percentage outcome, as far as the results are concerned, in Ofuasayerbi, in a place that we know is a stronghold of your party. You have come in with 64% at the last elections. Nobody else had come close to that. The last time this was the case, somebody close to that, was in 2004. So going into this, he had significant momentum, right? And Kojo, this must be something that must worry you, considering that elections is all about momentum. You drove a wall through this, and you came with 64.2% the last time. You could, at worst, hold this, but then to drop, something catastrophic must have happened.
The catastrophe is the wind of change, the green wave that's blowing across the country. And you'll find that many of my compatriots, right from the coast up north, were suffering major damages. And in the midst of those major damages, we still managed to hold our own and did over 5,000 vote margin. I've said over and over again that the people of Ghana have sent us a very strong message. What we need to do is to embrace that message and to work with it going forward.
Tell me, you said when you noticed that there may be apathy, it worried you. What do you think accounted for the apathy?
Well, the people told us quite clearly what is accounting for the apathy. There were people who were available in the towns, the villages, some even at the polling stations in my constituency and in other constituencies who told us clearly, we won't vote. We won't vote. Some, for example, will say, unless you give us money. Some will say we won't vote because we are angry. We won't vote because we are disappointed. And they explained what their issues were. Some of the issues that have led to this apathy or this level of apathy have to do with how we have managed our party and some of the processes that we've gone through in the party, which leave the general party support base feeling angry. For example, when there are primaries and it's a small electoral college and there's a lot of incentives to delegates to vote for a particular candidate, it leaves the broader community angry. For example, there are those who told us that they were not pleased with the conduct of some senior government officials or some political actors, how we have carried ourselves about, at various instances. And they therefore sought to send us a message and to punish us for that. There are those who explain that the cost of living crisis is so severe. And though they hear the explanations about the why, they voted for us as a government to fix it. And they are not impressed with how, much effort we have made in fixing it. And therefore, this is their verdict. And then there were those who told us that they were just, displeased about how we had handled major governance issues, like delivering on major projects or focusing on projects which they thought were totally unimportant or responding to accusations of nepotism and corruption, etc. So they provided a lot of reasons. What we need to do is to embrace these reasons and to work with them to improve our management as a party and our governance the next time we have an opportunity to be in power.
And before the elections, though, many people watching said these sentiments that you're now articulating were very obvious. Everybody said you guys were heading for a catastrophe, but you speak to almost every government official, every spokesperson, all of you were in denial. You were spinning, we are going to turn this around. The economy was doing well. Ghanaians were quietly waiting for your other polls. You concede now that there was a lot of denial among your ranks, and that maybe led to this false sense of security, which now has been stripped off by the voter.
I think what transpired was the fact that the turnaround was not occasioned quickly enough. The administration acknowledged that there were difficulties and put out a number of measures to deal with some of these difficulties. And you began to see the turnaround numbers coming through in the latter part of the year 2024. But in the earlier part of the year and perhaps the year before, the pain had been so much that people had made up their minds. And therefore, no matter how things were turning around, getting to the election season or how projects were being finally completed, if you had major projects that you had not completed for a while and people had made up their mind to vote against you, completing them in the final weeks to the election and commissioning them may not necessarily change the minds of people because they had made up their minds already.
Instead of adopting a servant leadership attitude, of a master leadership attitude, and to him, he knew everything. Meanwhile, he was empty. There many breno and in your work from say Kufuor. There many breno and in your work from Sabaumia. There many breno and will be a one theatre Kufuado. No one, Kwame, Manofa and 20. Sir, what's a mimic antro? In Chantro that, and so much. Make go alone or Namsminia, any Pami and Sano. Yet Mukadada, name Yajuma, Kwame Menabo so. It's a little Yamidin, and was Wakasem. It's a Muslim, Yamaka Kakrana Kwame Mediamau. Sanon, I don't know. So, Hona no be a Gisicafree. Anna, what is saying? I say, I don't know one no be a Gisicafree. Oh, Kwame, and you're one in charge of finance.
Send your Dennis the only monosobo.
Oh, kwame me ba. Ntimi mo ne sobo no. Eye da na wa be ka kire me say, yes ye be ma 39 million. See ye de ma wo ya mfa ma wo no. O ma bi o be ka kire me say ye de ma ye. Ye
de ma ye no. O say ye be ma ye 39 million en chese ye de be ma no miracle.
Oh, kwame me nyi what nyi o. Na wo promoja dodo a ye frem. O be tie no, yes bi a o won kransa. O be frɛ no once upon a time. Na obi odi na kira fa se o ye wo ha. Anya me na meka o. Anya me na meka. Meka sem dia to me ya no so menya mfaso be. Especially say o no say o ye ba omia e no kan se me na me tre. Me ya ba omia nti ne ta me. O no ye ba omia te me. Onim se ba omia nti me mama ne hunu. Kwa me asema meka and then the first time I make an radio so. Okay, na ya de data force no e court no. Okay.
Aye.
Abia betem ya no mu akono. Eni pa ba ko part no frame me. Me ko en was ya congrats. En o ma me pin aduenu 20,000, 2,000. En o ma me jampo ti adia.
Ah?
O ma me jampo ti adia. En o se yaw. Na wo fa okwa wan ye mfa no mra. Before so be kan wo aka kire me say, ye be ye me minister na mo ye modin. Ye be create ye bi na bi bia de ma minister ye dia ma me. Na party for no do me. Enti aduma me ye no da biara me koba. Ye ba ye away anan ye mama. What create office something like that. I say he's in charge of the grassroots. Kwame boa.
Aye.
Enti no mo ka kire me say no ye de me. O ye no bu sa say. Na wo fa kwa. O say bu sa say data force for the journey yenye. I'm so far. Montier for nothing, Montino. Say, I'm getting a data for so no. Yet, yes, I'm a co muswa. Wobuka will be the boy year 2015. I'm party America, and year 2 or Masaurano. Yalusu. I know the job they did. Yet, tossing you know. See a cat of gadgets, no so near called Chap for Muswa. Montier for na, a become Amano, Rebecca. It's Yamu among Konyan Fats and you would be a bayer. What's winning answer? And we are no for Yabase. Ofa okwa wani mfa no mra
You offer the end okay.
No offer na kufuado.
Oh okay.
Ana so offer na saje we die ni mo dodo. Ni mo dodo. O so da bo die o ya me nkomodifo. Me no na enti na me hwe ni me se me mo didin. O ye na me so offer no krani. Se sa na wo ka dia eni pa makomem ne peso ba ba omia. In those days, I am a core man FM Grano. 2011, 2012, and I'm a shot player campaign Mabawumia. A woman son of the cat and Papa Jay and party near the day. Baba Umia, you know. I'll be a water Bible so Oba Elsra a Jamuye. Oba Elsra Jamuye. Well, you are not the Aba power. Intimate cancer on the Pewana Penino. What did I was 8? And I was someone who can name me there. Now, so far, me the Messi. Everyone position the man after lotteries na takubo we so kwame and then you die the kind American lotteries e make us say we say ya femi dream and hame
baba waso edu ba bia adua hobo ye ma lotteries say was it derby wo kwa wo sa to kotet nyum anyi wade lotto anyi wade
ame man tin ka bio Saturday ya frau examine me mo na se ma ko ani ade na se ma so odin ti no ye be punish me en ha me ko akwa me gina ma baomia obi to ndo ye baomia no me ma me wu 2015 na sa ankofo no hene on ba me ko ma akurase asokori ayensan kwa me da bia na oyin kusie baomia ba ho
nyamfa kan kurom
baomia ba ho I love the man na ya ko yete party no mo no sere na kufuado ba yen kofo bi dia batabo etwanafo bi no eye na ye say papa no sana na bilim pese and it's one of them oya baomia buade baomia pe inclusiveness baomia pe nokwadie baomia pe media even among us no kura no the whole frank kofo bi abusu o ma fa branche no wan so am beka me say that say test bi ma o kwa mo we test no no phone so
what has him young mommy way
o dia kan ni kesi kwa me kan na me klaso
me ba mommy
o say
wo test o dia to
obi the spending pound the send ma me o ka say ye o dia kan kwa me
me ba jo me ba mommy way test this here 1 2 3
wa he bra wo bre this way akwan mo wie
Pacho jira so e o say we na men kan ho
and I'm kind.
Bro, good morning. I hope you are doing well. Please don't respond to that boy. We know you have a lot to say, but for the sake of the party, kindly ignore him. The party respects you for your maturity. Don't dignify him with any response to revive his dead political career.
I make so penny we are. When the million of not so na me di the amount. Ya ba ye no, ya dia obrase na asom. Ya ne mpanimfo anante. Na nsema hodo a ye ni mo no kwame. So olimbia nkan ko ni trim. Na ye campaign no, what back na strategy. Me na national security for impersonation. Me na national security for me the late Joshua Treme. No de biya nyama mebrebe. Senya na kame mbosoda. You are don't say oba you know he saw the competence, enemy interest, and what I can do on national security. And to know what BNI, all me ajuma. Yen ya tobra, we young dear. Ajuma tobra yen wono. Busa so ba yen ajuma wa yen wono. Na enwanwa. Occasionally no frame. Na ntina me dia kwanam. Ono na klasi awo kasa no. Na de na me national security for. Me I have never been so fed. 2020 election, single-handedly, I wrote a book about the achievement of the party. Nana Kumia, sorry. He recommended the book. I worked under Kumia. Akumia is selfless. Oh, Buadia, or Delegate, or a mature person. Mustafa me, the same person. Mustafa me congratulated me and gave me 20,000. Now for him on a war by ya. That's a one you be a want to be a can be a want to. But then of it all.
Baba say for fans dear. No control fans.
One day. I know now control. You're more than why you sumo. If they are done about catching 39 million. You're club every year, you're no man for Kikano. Mrs. I'm be club on here and Casab in the home, but I am measured. Because you're reading in area. Or say or Baumia, Panama say or say or Baumia. The entire Americans for city or Baumiano, Baumia Buadia, Baumia Slunami, Baumia, and in some your child yet. It will be a soon in the Bangkok. No one down was always saying, not quite as I was said to me, say me a Christian. Baumia is a respected person. Into Yania, you see a young man or no. We should go by the attributes of this great man. And Sasia for Kwabi so, and the Padu on more. You're about me and Shani here. Sick people, no. Kwame, the best magazine, you're queer anymore. Mibuno, he's my brother. They cannot be a